We're in the Alpert Jewish Community Center in Long Beach, and the main reason that I began to be interested in a show here was because a friend of mine, Dinah Berland, who wrote a wonderful book called Book of Hours, and it's poetry taken from Fanny Nereda's devotional poems for Jewish women, which she has changed into beautiful poetry. And Dinah and I thought it would be a good idea for us to do a collaborative book signing and reading of both of our books. Mine is called Remembering the Forgetting, and my book is about the art that I made when both my parents had Alzheimer's disease. So with that in mind, a show here at the Jewish Community Center showing some of the pages from my book with the poetry that goes along with it was the impetus for the show. But you know, there's always two sides to life. One might be a sad side to it, which I always try to turn into something that is positive. And then the other side of it is the humorous side. And for that, I've hung all of the lint candy, lint sushi, and other lint food, which I find very humorous, from dryer lint that I've been working with since 1975. The pictures on the other side are collages that I created last year to go with the poetry that I wrote during the 80s. And I have those in my book, the Remembering the Forgetting book that I wrote. These are collages of invented histories of the other patients who were also at the hospital, a locked facility where my parents were confined for about 8 years. And because we visited so often, we got to know as a family many of the other patients who were there. And my compassion for them, my compassion for their families spilled over into poetry, which I wrote in the 80s. So then in 2007, I did the invented collages of what their background might have been. And on these pieces, they're G-clay prints, which now have the poetry that I wrote superimposed over the front of them. My website is slaterbarron.com or lintlady.com, and on my website you can find a direct connection then to purchase my book from lulu.com. And also on the night of the signing I will have extra copies of my book for sale.